everyone, I'm Ria. Welcome back to our ongoing journey into the world of music. Today we're continuing with Schoenberg's theory of harmony, and this is the third episode of the series. Last time, we talked about how Schoenberg derived the major scale from the overtone series. This time, we're diving into the natural chords within the major scale, also known as diatonic chords, and exploring how chords are spaced. So, what exactly are diatonic chords? They're chords built by stacking thirds on each scale degree of a given key, using only the notes from within that key. The diagram here shows all 7 diatonic chords in the key of C major. Let's take a listen. Now notice that not all of these chords are created equal. Even though they all belong to the key of C major, their internal structures are quite different. The first, fourth, and fifth degrees are made of a major third plus a minor third, so they're major triads. The second, third, and sixth degrees use a minor third plus a major third, making them minor triads. And the seventh degree is the odd one out. It's made of 2 minor thirds stacked together, which makes it a diminished triad. When naming the scale degrees, we call the first degree the tonic, the third degree the mediant, the fourth the subdominant, and the fifth the dominant. The others, we'll get to those later. Now, even though we call the fifth degree dominant, that doesn't mean it rules the key. In fact, it's more like the loyal servant of the tonic, which is the real king of the tonal system. Sometimes the dominant acts like a messenger, preparing the arrival of our royal tonic. Schoenberg actually points this out in the book. He thinks the name dominant is a bit misleading. The truth is, every note in the key is under the tonic's influence. It's a tonal monarchy, really. Alright, let's move on to traditional 4-part writing. Why 4 voices? Because most harmonic phenomena can be expressed well with 4 parts. These voices create harmony vertically, but they also each have their own melodic lines moving horizontally. Schoenberg emphasizes here that harmony is the result of simultaneous voice movement. We're not just stacking chord after chord like musical Lego bricks, we're shaping real melodic lines within each voice. Of course, we haven't studied musical motives yet, so we're not quite ready to use them to drive voice movement. But for now, paying attention to voice leading is key. We name these 4 voices after human vocal ranges: soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. Their ranges are shown in the diagram here. The half notes represent typical ranges, and the quarter notes show the extremes. These aren't strict rules, more like rough guidelines. We should avoid keeping any voice at its extreme range for too long. Super high or super low notes are best used for effect or voice leading, not as a permanent residence. Otherwise, it gets a little dull and kind of uncomfortable. Now, since triads only have 3 notes and we need to fill 4 voices, we have to double one of the chord tones. Our go-to choice is the root, followed by the fifth. The root goes in the bass and has the strongest overtone resonance, making it super important for the overall sound. We want to double the note that blends most naturally with the bass, and that's usually the root. Doubling the fifth is okay, but less ideal. Doubling the third? Only if you must. It's less consonant with the root and it already defines the chord quality, so doubling it doesn't add much, unless you're aiming for a special effect. So in your early practice, just keep it simple. Put the root in the bass and double the root. Boom, 4 parts done. Next up, chord spacing. If the top 3 voices are all within 1 octave, that's called close position. If they span more than an octave, it's open position. General advice? Whether you're using open or close position, keep the distance between any 2 of the top 3 voices within an octave. That gives you a nice balanced sound. The bass can do whatever it wants. It's got more freedom. Sound-wise, close position feels sharper and more compact, while open position is rounder and more mellow. Let's listen to a few examples. Alright, I bet you're ready to try this yourself now. Go ahead, write out some diatonic chords in any key and try assigning them to 4 voices using both open and close spacing. Listen to the results and see what you like. That's all for today's episode on Theory of Harmony. I know the content was a bit scattered this time, but it'll start to make sense as you practice and internalize it. Also, my channel features music appreciation videos for classic pieces, great to enjoy while taking a break from all the theory. I'm Ria, and if you want to systematically learn composition and harmony, make sure to follow the channel. See you next time. Bye for now.